Oh, ladies and gents, this one's a bit tricky if I'm honest. Why? Because on the Fast and the Furious podcast, Will Buxton, the legend of Netflix's Drive to Survive, has said this about the championship in 2024, that the one they call Lando Norris, not that he could win, that he will win the championships in 2024. Oh, the humanity. Listen, my crystal ball is as murky as the next person's, Will Buxton. What gives you that inclination, sir? How can you speak with such confidence? Of course, Will Buxton's a legend of the game, and he's gotten a few right of late. He said that Andrea Kimi Antonelli would of course supersede one Lewis Hamilton as soon as he announced his trip across to Maranello for 2025, and that's of course proven to be correct. Bravo, Mr. Buxton. Do you know what I mean? But nobody bats 1,000 in this. How is Lando Norris going to close the deal? 52 points is the difference between him and Maximilian Verstappen over the course of 6 races. This makes no sense. He needs luck. He needs good fortune. The racing gods need to be smiling at him. The McLaren team that he races for indeed need to continue developing the car at that rate. Please see Mini DRS, please see Flexi Front Ring, all of that. And they need for the inverse not to happen. Ergo, Red Bull cannot put that stuff on their car. That will nullify the durable competitive advantage that McLaren, the papaya coloured team, have. And as far as the bloody drivers, if we're going to get techie, Emilio, in equal machinery, is anybody going to tell me that Maximilian Verstappen can be beat by one Lando Norris? Behave yourself. This is nonsense. Toto Wolff has said that Red Bull aren't winning races anymore. Anytime they do, it's Maximilian Verstappen that's putting them there. And that concerns me with the 52 points front and centre of my mind. I can't see Maximilian Verstappen winning. However, if we look at the odds for the American Grand Prix at COTA, they say that Lando Norris will win 48% of the time. Ergo, if you run a simulation 100 times under this current set of circumstances, run that sim 100 times, the odds makers, the F1 actuarials, say that Lando Norris will win 48 of those 100. Oscar Piastri 15 times. Maximilian Verstappen only 17 times. Of those 100 simulations will he win. That, ladies and gentlemen, is chaos, a paradigm shift as far as the odds and the way that the odds makers view the probability of Maximilian Verstappen. I thought, let me check the championship odds as well, because surely Max Verstappen still needs to be a big favourite. Let's say 60, 65, 70% upwards. No, 62% of the time they say Maximilian Verstappen wins this championship. 42% of the time they say Lando. Listen, this is going to be closer than probably I've given it credit for. And a lot of things can and will happen in Formula One. Unforeseen circumstances. Some people say Maximilian Verstappen will need DNFs, multiple of them, if indeed Lando Norris has aspirations of winning himself a championship in 2024. Lest we forget, McLaren haven't exactly been the beacon of excellence. Hence Will Buxton's viral clip a couple races ago when he questioned Andrea Stella on why they failed to prioritise Lando Norris, failed to institute for team orders. Indeed, Will Buxton said they are wasting this golden opportunity, an opportunity that as a team and as a driver in Lando Norris they may never get again. And this is where it gets techie, because lest we forget Silverstone, there have been mistakes, failing to double stack. Lest we forget Hungary, again failing to institute for team orders. I understand Oscar Piastri will be a goated one in future, but surely, as far as championships and race wins, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. One needs to prioritise the here and now if you are McLaren or a race/championship winning team and driver in Lando Norris, surely. So I don't know then, with all that front and centre of the mind, whether McLaren are capable of shifting up gears, whether Lando Norris too as a driver is capable of shifting his mentality. We've spoken about this on a gazillion occasions before, haven't we? Game of Ender, about Lando Norris's Debbie Downer-ism. the frequency with which he always self-doubts and down-talks himself. And I've contended that that will result each and every single time in downside performance ramifications. What do you mean, Lando? You got to do like Michael used to back in the day, or Ayrton. Those guys would go and front up and push themselves out in a positive light with a view to loop that self-perpetuating circle now. Talk, put out positive thoughts into the world, see it, conceive it, believe it, and then you can go out and achieve it. Lando Norris does nothing if not that. Each and every single time he drops himself on pole, he only talks about his mistakes. A god tier pole lap at Monza this season even. Levels. You only need to have a look at the guys on board through Lesmo 1 and 2. The dude is a genius. He doesn't lack for racecraft, nor does he lack for speed. Lando Norris can and will be at some point in future God tier. He's every bit capable of winning this championship, but whether he executes will have a lot to do with him being able to improve for his mental fortitude. It is all there as far as Lando Norris. I don't want to hear himself down talking though. Oh, I made a mistake in turn 1, turn 2, he said of his Italian Grand Prix pole lap. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is absolute chaos. It could be the losing of this championship. The margins will be fine. Rest assured, for the avoidance of doubt, that as at now, the gap between Messrs Verstappen and Norris, 52 points. In 6 races' time, you can bet your bottom dollar it will be less than that. But I don't think the symbiosis of Lando Norris and McLaren is sufficient to overturn the house that Christian Horner built in the balls that are red. So too, Maximilian Verstappen. They are still strong, of course. They have their ineptitude. Of course, the car's not working at the moment under steer settings each and every single time. But yet and still, that, ladies and gentlemen, is Maximilian Verstappen. Some say soon to be 4-time champion. Try overtaking that dude, and Lando Norris will have to at some of these next few races, if not each and every single one of them. So I'm concerned. I take Will Buxton. I see what he's done there. He's put his drive to survive cap and he's doing a bit of kayfabe. Got to say something entertaining for the people so that the people can latch on to it. Virality settings front and centre, of course. But I will put forth to you this way. The errors of the unforced variety as far as Lando Norris's championship campaign even might be his downfall. He said it to us a couple race weekends ago at the press conference. He said that the dude that usually wins the race weekend is the one who makes the least unforced errors. As brilliant as he was at the Singapore Grand Prix, you can still see this chap's mistakes. He was 30 seconds down the road, still making errors, potentially race winning, costing errors, material ones. What are we doing, Lando Norris? And if indeed you wrap all of those errors of the unforced variety up in the umbrella term of self-doubt, then how do you think you stand a chance of gapping Maximilian Verstappen over the course of the next 6 races to the tune of 53 points or more? What are we doing here?